Good morning and welcome into this live. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator and I am based here in the UK. And it is lovely to have you join me. If this is your first time joining us, do pop on and say hello. If you've joined us many times before, still do pop on and say hello, whether you're live or whether you're watching this on replay. It's always lovely to hear from everybody and see how they're getting on and get feedback and things from them. So yeah, lovely to have you with us. Let's introduce who I am and where you can find out a little bit more about me. So this is my website. Excuse me, got a bit of a croak this morning. This is my website, www.loveaduckie.co.uk, and this is where you can go to find all about me. You can find my blog posts and the inspiration that I put up there. You can find links to all of my upcoming classes. You can find links to my shop, and you can find links to downloadable tutorials and all of those sorts of fun things. So there is lots over there for you to go and check out. Morning to Lisa, lovely to have you with us. The other slide I've got for you today is to let you know that there is a starter kit offer on. So at the moment, normally for your starter kit, so for any other time of the year when there isn't any promotions on, you would spend £99 and you'd get to choose £130 worth of goodies, plus you get catalogues and all sorts of lovely things and free postage, and all of those things get to be part of my lovely team. But from the 4th to the 31st of October, there's even more. This is Starter Kit Plus. So you actually get an additional £24 worth of product. So you spend £99 and you get to choose £154 worth of product out of the catalogue of your choice, or catalogues. As long as it's current product, you can add it into your starter kit. So there's lots of there's a really good reason to be joining, and as I always say, there are no expectations, only opportunities. So it is a really good thing to look into, and as I say, apart from that, you get to be part of a fabulous community of people, and you also get to have first pickings when things are released. So yeah, do go and do think about that. Do check that out. Do get in touch if you want any more information. So that's running, as I say, up until the 31st of October. But where are we today? The 7th of October, nearly a week into this month already. And today, my sort of remit was making some cards for the guys, doing some sort of more masculine type cards. So, as usual, I have nothing prepared except for a pile of things. And we will see where that pile of things takes us as the next little while progresses. So let me bring in my downward facing camera, and you can see that here I've got in front of me he's the man suite. Obviously good starting place for any um, masculine male type card that you want to create. I have to say that in the catalogue there are a variety. So this is the main suite that has papers. It has sort of little pop out bits that we'll have a look at in a minute. There's stamps, there's dies, and really lovely labels in those dies. So great suite. But if you continue to flick past this, you will find that there's a whole load of really good stamp sets, bundles that work for sort of more masculine cards. You've got the Campology one, the Let's Set Sail, this gorgeous wildlife wonder with the wolf and the bear and the owl. You've got your whiskey business. You've got this one with computer type things on the tech support. Brewed for you. You've got dies with that as well. So if you've got somebody into real ale, you've got these nice sort of naturey ones. The adventurous journey. So if somebody's into messing about on the water, you've got these great pandas and things that are good for male cards, and the vintage tools. So there is in the catalogue, and even some, moving on, these are good for male cards as well. There's a whole little section that you can go to be inspired for your mail cards. And of course, do be inspired. It's not just a shopping tool, it is an inspiration tool. So you've got lots in here, lots of samples that the designers and things have, the concept artists have created at Stampin' Up, but do use those to inspire your card making, because that's what they're there for, to inspire you. And you don't have to use the same stamp sets, you don't have to use the same colours. It's just like, oh, that would be a really good idea for using this. You could be using bright pinks and yellows and florals, but just take the layout. So yeah, do make sure that you use your catalogue as an inspiration tool as well as a shopping tool. Morning, Jackie. But let's come back to the He's the Man suite. I have got my papers here. My papers are starting to dwindle. I have been using some. I have got like all the little bits that I've popped out, and I've still got the pop out bits. I think I may need to lose those really. I think I kept them because I thought they might be quite good for doing a bit of sponging, that they actually would be, but they're getting a bit battered. But we've got our really nice papers in there that we're going to have a bit of a play with. I've picked out cardstock that goes with the colour palette of that paper. So we've got some crushed curry, some Cajun craze, some soft succulent, some early espresso, and some Sahara sand. So those are the colours that I've got there. And we're going to have a couple of cards. Let's bring in the stamp set. So this is the He's the All That stamp set, which is mainly sort of greetings and little don't know what you'd call them really. There's sort of almost like badges, aren't they? Together for the long haul, every day with you is another adventure. We've got wishing you a happy birthday to the man who does everything. Happy birthday to a classic. So there's a whole little nice splattering of stamps there. And then there is these little dies that say that I've got some really good labels and little tail bits in, and these lovely little detailed pieces just here. So that's the He's All That stamp set and dies. And as I say, I have got some of the pop out bits. Let's move this to one side for now. So this set of papers is a speciality paper because it comes with a couple of sheets of all of these elements that you can pop out, and you've got things in here like little stars and corners, as well as sort of torn paper pieces. This piece that looks like a bit of a torn bit of a notebook. You've got the sentiments and things on here, little bow tie, my man, cheers for your years. So lots of, there's some antlers in there, there's some tools. So lots of bits and pieces to play with. Quite a nice vintagey car in there. So you've got lots of elements that you can play with on your cards for the guys. So it's really useful set of papers to have. You've got a very dry mouth today. So with your sentiments, these little pop out bits, and with your papers, morning Jane, you can soon be creating some really nice, quick and easy cards. I have grabbed a couple of other things in here. Got the vintage tools stamp set, and a couple of dies and things, and I've got the inks that also match the colour palette of those papers. So let me carefully put those to one side so I don't knock them off all over the floor, because I don't really want to be scrambling over the floor to find the little bits that we want. Now let's bring out some of this paper. As I said, I have already used bits of this paper, and you can see where I've popped all of those pieces out of these background sheets and said I've kept these because they would be quite good for sponging through. I love this Cajun craze stripe. So you've got the stripes on one side, you've got, this is sort of like a barbecue one, you've got flames and barbecue tools and things on the other side, and got this nice sort of spot on this side, and these sort of diamondy pattern on the other. This one is a check in early espresso with sort of Cajun craze check going through it. This side has got ties and glasses and shoes and moustaches. We have vintage cars with this pretty little Sahara sand pattern on the back. In the background of these, if you look in the background of the papers, there's tyres in the background here. There's some stars. Tyres are a sore subject at the moment. I went to go out in my car yesterday morning and I had a flat tyre. This one has got caravans on, and the trees and the woods, so anybody that goes camping. I think we've seen those ones. So a nice selection of papers. They're not sort of all going off down one tangent of sort of papers for or activities that the guys might enjoy. You've got a little bit of a spattering. You've got the barbecuing, you've got the vintage cars, you've got the camping, you've got the dressing up, looking suave. So there's all these sort of elements all built into this pack, which makes it a really good generic pack to have on hand for creating cards for the guys. So let's come back here. Let's take some of that stripy. Let's take some of that spots. Let's have a look. What else shall we have? Shall we go? Oh, that's quite a nice combo, isn't it? Let's have a little look at that combo. We get a trimmer. Now I'm going to have a look through here and pick out. I have actually seen, if I can find it again, having tipped them out and had a rummage through. I might have that one. I might sort of come back and do some die cutting. Actually, I think I will die cut the pieces I want for that. Now, there's a few stars and things in here that I might come back to in a minute as well. I don't want any of these other. Ooh, I might have that little bit of torn paper. Now, the reason that I have picked out this particular Holy Smokes, You're the Best sentiment is I heard yesterday that my son-in-law, who is a full-time fireman, has had a promotion. So that seemed very appropriate. Holy smokes, you're the best. So I thought, oh, there's a reason to be making a mail card today. It's good to have a reason to make a card. I think we'll have an early espresso card base. We make lots of cards. Sometimes it's good to make one with a purpose. So there's the purpose for today. I'm going to cut this piece of early espresso in half. And I'm going to score it in half. So whatever that means for wherever you are in the world, that is just creating a standard size card base. And onto that, I think we'll have a little bit of Cajun craze. Now I'm just going to trim that bottom piece off a little bit because it looked a little bit raggedy. I think the time that I cut that last, possibly my trimmer blade was feeling a bit sorry for itself. So there we have 10 by 14.4. It's Stewie, so it's Stuart, or we all call him Stewie, and that's had his promotion. Jackie, thank you. Let's come in with yep, I think a bit of this. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it 13.4, I think, by 9. I want there to be. To be able to see some of that stripy Cajun craze Already got ink on my fingers and I've not done anything. How have I managed that? And then let's bring in some of this paper. And I think with this, I'm going to take it down so it is 12.4 by 8. So I'm going to take it down another centimetre. Oh, done that the wrong way round. Never mind. We'll have our diamonds going that way. That's fine. We won't worry about it. But I think this piece I'm actually going to tear. If you don't like tearing paper, look away now. And being that sort of dark colour, that really pops that white into there. I might come in and sponge it a little bit. We'll see. We have a little bit of notebook just there. To bring in some of these dies now. I'm thinking I might die cut some of these bits. We might possibly have a bit of a twirl going behind there as well. I think these twirly bits, these sort of bannery bits, I'm going to cut from the middle of this piece of paper. And then I think we'll have some early espresso ones of these. So let me grab some oddments of card. Oddment of card for these. And cut those out of there. So let me just run those through my cut and emboss. Just arrange those on my cutting plate. Oh, that one moved. Have I got a whole one? No, I haven't. I'll have to run that through. I ran it back the other way just to make sure that these pieces had cut out nicely. And obviously, as I did that, this one moved. Let me just take these off. It's a good job. We've got a good border on that bit of paper. Else that would have been very frustrating. Got some nice odd pieces that you could build up into a curvy bit if you like jigsaws. Right, let's put those dies back there. We've now got a very strange pattern in the middle of our piece of paper. Good job, that won't ever be seen once we've stuck it down. So we have our card base and our paper. We may go jauntily on our paper, do like a bit of a jaunty angle. We've got our holy smokes, you're the best, with our swirl coming out, and we can just tuck that in and make that as long as we want that to be, and alter the angle of it. Let's just pop all the little bits out of here. Out you come. Let me find my pokey tool. Let's make the life job a little bit easier for ourselves, shall we? There we go. I am wondering whether to have, might do that one actually, a little bit of a Sahara sand label behind there. So lots of sort of layering up of the different elements. But we've not done any stamping, just a bit of die cutting, and to get a bit of a Sahara sand. You have to crush curry first. That's not right at all. That wide enough for that? Yes, it is. Let's run that through. That sitting on there. Get rid of these little bits just here. Let's stick some of this together. So our very holy piece of paper. I'm going to find my good glue. Here it is. And let's come in with our Sahara sand crisscrossy bit. And then our early espresso torn diamonds. And we'll have a piece of notebook that's been torn out. Let's pop some Tombow on the back of there and arrange these zoomy banner bits where we want them to go. Add a little bit of Tombow around the back there as well. going to stick that down too hard because I do want to add in these little pieces on either side. So this is a great set in its own right, but is also a fabulous set for being able to add these little bits and pieces, the little tags, these little elements, the banners. You can use those in all sorts of projects. That definitely doesn't have to just be for your men's cards. They could be for any sort of project. Let's bring that centrally. Now let's come back to my little thing of bits and pieces. It's a nice Cajun Craze star. It's green stars, but I've not really got anything else green on there. I wonder if I've got any more. Sort of build up these like collage-y type effects. I don't know. Got a crushed curry star there. Another green one. Got a couple of green stars. Don't really want green stars. Oh, that would work. Like that, wouldn't it? That would be good. That was a big squidge of glue, but hopefully that will hide under there. And crushed curry. And Cajun Craze. And you obviously need a bit of an insert inside there. Which I would trim if I could find what safe place to put my trimmer in. There we go. So let's come 13.9 by 9.5. So this is whatever your second side mat is. So 5 inches by 3 3/4, wouldn't it? Imperial. And I think we might have a strip of stripes, because why not? I might come back to that little stripy bit of stars. That would look quite good, wouldn't it? And let's just stick that across there. Stick our stars across the top. Let's take a pair of scissors, turn this over and chop off that excess. And then we will pop that inside, just like that. Perfect. Holy smokes, you're the best. And there's a little inside bit as well. So apart from a bit of die cutting, that really was just layering up those papers, layering up those pop out insert bits. They are really, it's a really good pack for sort of building up those quick and easy little cards. And you'd have even found these little banners in there if you'd have wanted to, and if you didn't want to cut those bits out. But there's one little card for a man in your life. Okay, let's have a little look. I thought for another card we'd have a bit of a play with the split card texture dies. These are really fun. This one looks, it's not florally, but it does look a bit touch more florally, doesn't it? And this one is a bit more sort of almost industrial, isn't it? With that sort of the checks in. I've seen it done with some really beautiful feminine type cards, but it just sort of lends a little bit more masculinity than perhaps the other die does. Now we can use it to cut this way, to cut that way. We could have a card going this way. We could have a card going that way. Let's have a little think about what we would like. So I think let's have a bit of soft succulent somewhere along the line. That's not soft succulent. Perhaps let's go Sahara sand. We'll have some of that paper, and then we'll have some more Sahara sand cardstock on the top. We'll go that way. Right, so let's take our little piece of Sahara sand cardstock and make sure it's the right way. So it's half a piece of cardstock one way, scored in half the other, whatever that looks like for you. For us here with Imperial, that's 14.9 by 10.5. If you're using with metric, that's 14.9 by 10.5. If you're using Imperial cardstock, that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. I'm going to cut a piece of this DSP. So this has got sort of vintagey cars and bikes and things on it. And let's swing that around and cut that then to 14.4. So that would be 4 inches by 5.25 if you're using Imperial. Then I'm going to take this. I'm going to take it down to 13 point. I'm going to go 13.4 by 9. Let me have a. Let's take our die, and I think we'll go this side just here. So I'm just going to line that die up across that piece just there. Abandoned a die by my machine. Let's bring that back. I did run this one through twice in the hope that it would, yes, do something like that. And that these little pieces would pop out nice and easily. How are we doing? We've got that one, and that one, and that one, and that one still stuck in. Oh, and there's another one appeared. Obviously hadn't quite detached itself. Make sure all the pieces are out of there. Let's gather up these little pieces. Pop those in my recycling bin. Now, there was that really nice, here he is, car somewhere. Let's have a bit of a wrench and a hammer. And what about You're a Classic? Let's just take a piece of Cajun Craze, I think, and cut this label with it. Or do we want to go no, I think the label. Just cut that. You're a Classic. It's rather fun. Oh, got a little bit. Is it going to be enough? Is this bit of black twine? Good job. I've got some more coming in an order beginning of next week. Not sure about the black twine. Might pop that to one side. Perhaps use that on a different project. quite liking that. Let's layer this one up then. I know quite a few guys who would quite like a vintagey card. Let's just put little spots just to hold that down. That just gives those cards the opportunity to peep through that grid. Let's bring in our label. I think we might put him on some dimensionals. Now I know I'm going to have my tools coming in the top here, so I'll leave a bit of a gap for them to thread into. So it also needs to put some dimensionals on this bottom section just here. Let me flip that over so I know which is bottom. And we'll just add a little bit of Tombow at the top there. Like that. To help if I took the back off my dimensionals. What it is to be a woman of a certain age. There we are. Let's find a card for the guys that says you're a classic. Let's add in our little tools on the top. And just to slide that one in a little bit further. No, it still doesn't want to go. So what I am going to do, excuse me, sticking to each other, just not sticking where I want them to stick underneath. Let's take a pair of scissors. I'm going to lop off that bit on the bottom. And that's better. Do a bit of surgery. And I think find some matte black dots. Although this is really early espresso, I think. Do I want a matte black dot? I may. It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, isn't it? Let's have a. Nearly pulled my laptop off the side. That would be good. Excuse me while I rummage. Let's go rustic. Let's go rustic metallic. That's far more like it for a classic car. Just back to my black twine, twiddling a little bit. Ooh, just get my ribbon scissors. Got a bit of a knot in the end there now. Let's just trim that off. I'm still not convinced about the black twine. I think we will leave that. There we go. Do we need anything else on that card? I quite like it as it is, actually. I think that is sufficient. So let's bring back in our other one. So a couple of really nice masculine cards, using quite a bit of those pop outs and things. We've not done any stamping at all this morning. We've done a bit of die cutting. We've used some of those labels, used some of these elements just here. Oh, we haven't done an insert for this one. Let's quickly do that. Turn the trim around. What shall we have on our insert? Shall we have some paper? And obviously you could then use paper to decorate. The envelope. To bring in a cut a strip of 4 centimetre wide Sahara sand card. I'm just going to tear along the top of there. I don't want that to come, yeah, about like that, I think. As you can see, some people don't like torn paper. I do like the effect of a bit of torn paper or card. And the really nice thing about our cardstock is, you see, we tore here the paper, and when you tear the paper, you've got a white core on your paper, so you get this white outer that you can then go in and sponge and things. We did think about that, but I didn't in the end. But with our coloured cardstock, you don't get a white core. The core is the colour. The colour of the card goes all the way through. So yeah, so although it might look a bit paler where it's sort of gone furry, it is still Sahara sand. So it is not a white core on the card. You do sometimes get card that has a white core because the colour is only on the surface. Our cardstock, the colour goes all the way through. There we are, quite like that. Let's add that in there. Perfect. Right, now we have 2 completed cards. One for a classic car lover and one for somebody who perhaps likes campfires, likes a bit of a barbecue, or has just got a promotion as his job as a fireman. Perfect. Perfect. Job's a good one. I've made Stewie a card, and we've had a bit of a play with those things all at the same time. Can't be bad. Good morning's work. Tick a couple of things off. So lovely to have you joining me this morning. I hope that you go on to have a really lovely weekend. And I think the sun is due to shine here for us. I think we're due a bit of autumnal sunshine, so that will be lovely. And I'll also be celebrating my grandson's 2nd birthday this weekend. So lots of fun to be had. So I will see you on Monday morning when I will be full of birthday cake again. So lovely to see you. Have a great weekend. See you back on Monday.